or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of things is unconscionable, and it's un-American.
I still can't believe that he really said that. And look, on one hand, we should absolutely take it seriously that the sitting president of the United States just referred to all of us collectively as garbage. But on the other hand, you cannot deny that there is no better political gift for Donald Trump less than a week away from the election for Joe Biden to go out and say that. And by the way, the funny thing is that if you listen to the entire clip, it actually gets much, much worse. Check it out.
Donald Trump has no character. He doesn't give a damn about the Latino community. He's failed businessman. He only cares about the billionaire friends he has and accumulating wealth for those at the top. He says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Give me a break. He wants to do away with the birthright citizenship. Who the hell has said that in the last 100 years? And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of things is unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've been.
Guys, if you're enjoying the content, please do us a big favor and hit that subscribe button down below. We are now less than a week away from the election. It's never been a better time to join our community of garbage and support our independent media against the machine by hitting that subscribe button down below. But look, there's just so much wrong with this clip, and in a second, we'll show you the CNN reaction because it's frankly pretty accurate. But let me just firstly give my own take here. Okay, so I was one of the original subscribers to this theory, but at this point, I don't see how you can possibly deny that Joe Biden is trying to actively sabotage Kamala Harris in his own way. And by the way, I also like the part in this clip where he almost says that he's from Puerto Rico. Okay, like the whole thing is just ridiculous. I mean, first and foremost, nobody can deny that there's no better way to galvanize Trump voters and increase turnout, right? Ensure that they will go to the polls and vote against this administration by going out and saying something like that. We saw what the deplorables comment for Hillary Clinton did back in 2016. Yes, Joe Biden may largely be senile, but I would think we've seen him do this type of stuff multiple times now. You know, he did the same thing with the port strike and that press conference. He put on the Trump hat. I think he knows exactly what he is doing. And regardless, even if he's not doing it intentionally, it is true that he is definitely sabotaging Kamala's campaign for whatever reason he's doing it. It's also worth noting the timing here, because at the same time Joe Biden was on a private Zoom call fundraiser making these comments, Kamala Harris was basically copying Trump's Madison Square Garden thing by doing this huge rally outdoors in DC, and this was supposed to be her own closing argument before the election. And notice how nobody's talking about it. In fact, there's almost not a single headline about the Kamala DC rally. Why? Because Joe Biden completely stole the spotlight with his idiotic comments. And lastly here, you know what it also does? It shifts the attention away from the original Puerto Rican controversy that was going on over the Trump rally. And Democrats in some ways had the moral high ground, even though it was a fake scandal, but they could stand there and say, look what they said, you know, focuses on Trump, orange man bad, orange man bad. And then Biden, you go out there, basically take a sledgehammer to all of that potential political momentum around the Trump scandal by scandalizing yourself and putting all of the focus and blame now on the Democrats. It is just hilarious to see. I don't care what anyone says. You can disagree. I am a full subscriber to the idea Joe Biden has to be doing this on purpose because it's just too good.
Tonight, there's new reporting about Joe Biden and a moment that explains why things are the way that they are. Sources tell CNN that the president is in do no harm mode, stapling himself to the bench at the direction of the Harris campaign. Well, even from the White House, he may have done some pretty significant harm in the final week of the campaign. Just listen to this, and you be the judge.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've been.
Joining us now, Franklin Leonard. He is in our fifth seat. He's the founder and CEO of the Blacklist. That was a moment, and not a moment that the Harris campaign wanted. I want to just read, this is Biden on X trying to clarify all of this. He says, earlier today I referenced to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporters at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no way you can spin that. That is completely what Joe Biden said. I saw the White House tries to change the transcript to make it seem like he was not talking about Trump supporters. No, he said that straight up. And there is no amount of damage control you can do this late in the election that will change that. And Trump has already jumped on top of this. He put out this statement saying, while I am running a campaign of positive solutions to save America, Kamala Harris is running a campaign of hate. She has spent all week comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. Now, on top of everything, Joe Biden calls our supporters garbage. You can't lead America if you don't love the American people. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have shown they are both unfit to be president of the United States. I am proud to lead the biggest, broadest, and most important political coalition in American history. We are welcoming historic numbers of Latinos, African Americans, Asian Americans, and citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. It is my desire to be president of all the people. Again, that's maybe the underrated aspect of this. Notice how that Puerto Rico joke from the Trump rally has been completely erased. It's been completely forgotten about because Joe Biden came in there and ruined what the Democrats had going. It's hilarious to see. And by the way, if you're curious about that by the numbers, just take a look at the Google search trends of people who searched up Puerto Rico garbage versus Biden garbage. So the Puerto Rico thing is in the blue, Biden is in the red. Look at that difference. Yeah, way more people are now paying attention to this, talking about this, and make no mistake about it. I don't know how many last-minute undecided voters this will flip, but what it will really do again is galvanize Trump supporters, increase that turnout, give the final boost we need in the final week of the election to make sure all of the low propensity potential Republican voters are showing up to the polls.
Interpretations about what he said, disinvited. This is the president of the United States endorsing his vice president saying something. And I know that there's different interpretations about what he said. It's still inappropriate. You still shouldn't be doing it. And I've watched Trump already seize this. The basket of deplorables was significant, was meaningful in 2016. In 2024, I can promise you that this is going to drive Trump turnout. He's doing it already. I can see, I'm sure there's going to be ads on as soon as tonight about this. This may be a turning point for those final 3%, and that's all it is, who still need to be persuaded. Now, I'll offer you guys something. We're going to be talking to them over the next couple of days. If you want to do something on Monday, the day before, focusing on these last persuadables, I will tell you that Trump offends them. And they don't like him as a person. But Harris scares them because they don't know where she stands, and they feel that she hasn't been clear on some of the key issues, most notably immigration.
Yeah, central conclusion of today's video, guys. Joe Biden hates Kamala Harris. I mean, we've thought that for a while now on this channel, but there is a lot of proof from what you've seen in the fallout of the past 24 hours. Guys, look, I mean, this is exactly the basket of deplorables comment back from 2016, and it's arguably worse, right? Because only thing that matters now is ensuring maximum turnout. And the week before election day, when you got those last few votes to chase, when the last few people, you got to get them into the polls, make sure they vote, you go out and say that, and you totally erase the Puerto Rico story. You totally overshadow Kamala Harris's big rally in DC, and nobody's talking about that, when in contrast, a lot of people talked about the Madison Square Garden rally. Thank you, President Biden, okay? You know, in the end, Someone ought to check his ballot, because I think secretly he is a double agent working for us. Whether he means to or not, it's undeniably happening. That said, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below, guys. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.